All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome to the Eddie Live Podcast, episode 296.
Wow.
I am here with Yuri.
Hello.
How are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Great. We made it. We finally made it. You're in Taiwan. How's Taiwan treating you?
It's been amazing. I'm eating real food.
Okay.
I'm meeting real people.
Beautiful. I like
Weather's been amazing too.
Okay,
So coming
okay.
from Korea, this is like super warm and sunny, and yeah, just can't complain about anything, to be honest.
Actually, the weather hasn't been great here until this week, I
Okay.
believe.
I brought it with
So
me.
you brought the good weather with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
amazing.
Appreciate it. How are we doing for audio? Good? We're good? Okay, cool. So we met in Hong Kong.
Yes.
Right? The whole sentiment thing, right? Maybe you can introduce yourself a little bit before we kind of dive into the story.
Yeah. But before anything, where do I look? There.
You can just look at me. That's fine. Anywhere is fine. Yeah. When we go deep, then
Yeah,
then we'll
okay.
have that one there.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my name's Yuri, as you
Yuri,
know.
yes.
Yuri in Korean.
Yuri.
And yeah, I am working on my company, my life, basically.
Love it.
Called Sentiment. We are taking the best of blockchain and AI, and we preserve what's making you and me human, which is memories and emotions. And
it.
really, what's motivating me is, the fact that we are actually trying to, approach it very differently. So like we understand the common perception about the, whole blockchain industry, and people think that blockchain equals crypto, which is like always coming with the negative connotation.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, which is not the case.
The rug pulls and stuff. Yeah.
And all the new tech can be actually used for something great, and that's what we take pride in, and that's like pushing us to try harder. And
Okay.
yeah, I mean, I'm happy to talk about what we do
Sure.
as we talk more.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
just taking different approaches for everything. We're like combining consumer products to, like we're embedding our tech into the consumer products. So then
Okay.
every day, people can touch and feel like what we are building.
Okay.
And, you're already like in the blockchain Web3 space without even like having to know, or like
I think that's huge.
just making it
yeah.
complicated. So like what we do is also removing all the barriers,
Okay.
all the complications. So your daughter, my grandma, like everybody can be already in. Yeah.
Good.
It looks like we have a comment. Do you read the comment?
What's the comment?
Comment?
Damn, she looks Damn, she looks uncomfortable. Who said that? So listen, why don't we start with the story behind the earrings?
Okay.
So your earrings sparked off this whole like life-changing event,
Yeah.
right? So
Yes.
why don't you tell me about how your earrings like started this amazing
Yeah.
journey? I love the earrings, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so timeless. I don't know
Yeah.
how I got to pick these earrings. Like it just like stood out, I guess.
Okay.
And I'm still wearing it, after 20 something years.
Beautiful.
But yeah, it was like a rainy day on my birthday. It always rains because it's in June. And
Not in Taipei. Come down to us. Yeah.
yeah, I was a good student in school, always like
Nice.
straight A students. I was like a class president and everything. And
Mm-hmm.
I had a little
Yeah.
rebel side in me.
Okay.
And I always, like I was always good, but at the same time, like I always kind of like loved the challenges, and like I always had this like rebellious side. So
Yeah, sure.
yeah, I mean the beginning was really just getting my ears pierced. So my mom
Love it.
didn't agree to this. She knew that I wanted to get my ears pierced, but like specifically say no many times, many times. So
Okay.
yeah, she was firm about if you pierce your ears, it's my household, so that's not gonna happen. And then knowing how much my mom loved me, I just went ahead and did it anyways, and got
The
home.
rebel. The
and-
rebel got the best of
I
you.
know, I
Right?
know.
love it. Okay.
Yeah, and then I don't even remember. Like maybe I'm missing some. Yeah, I'm definitely missing some like little notes there. Like I just remember she was very upset. But the next thing I remember is we were at the department store. I'm looking at one right here. Very
Yeah.
similar.
Xinguang Sanyue. That's what we got. Yeah.
Yeah, and then she was like, the holes are there, so we're gonna just fill them with whatever you pick. So just go venture out, find the best, the ones that you like, and then this is how I got these.
So maybe like walk me through that one moment if you can. So you're coming in, your mom's like, no, just give that a good stir because it's got like fresh lemon
It's my
juice.
first
on
time,
the
by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
check
don't know
it
what I'm
out.
drinking, but this looks incredible.
Thank you.
We got another comment.
Yes. What does it say? Da-da-da. Coffee looks good. Coffee is good. You got to try it. So basically, you're like, Mom, I want to pierce my ears. Mom's like, no. And then you're like, you got probably long hair, maybe. And you're like, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to hide it from Mom.
Yeah.
So the day that you come in and the day Mom finds out that you have holes in your ears.
Yeah.
Maybe tell me about that. And then we'll totally dive into the
Yeah.
sentiment.
I mean, I love this because like it actually helps me to
Yeah.
think about that exact moment and like
Please.
feelings and stuff. I hope I'm remembering everything correctly because
Sure.
I remember the typical process is I don't know if you have any ears.
I do not. I'm square.
Yeah,
I
so
don't
I
have
don't
tattoos,
know,
earrings,
people-
nothing.
Yeah, do it these days. But I remember when you first get your ears pierced, it's not you can't pick anything. So basically, you have to go for like the.
Like a stud or something? No.
It's more like that
Something
works
like
too.
that? No,
but
I
I think
don't
there
know.
was almost like a placeholder.
Oh,
Like
okay.
type of like it was like clear. I remember.
Okay.
So maybe like a. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
I don't know.
plastic.
Okay.
I don't remember. So like they pierce your ears
Mm-hmm.
and then they put those first, and then when the wounds heal, basically you.
It's okay.
kind
Keep
of,
going. You're good. I'm just want to make sure I get you.
Yeah, so you kind of like replace it with like nice earrings.
Yeah.
So that part is definitely missing. I don't remember that part.
Sure.
But I do remember it wasn't visible in the beginning. So I could
Okay.
like get by like
So
a
you
little
get
bit,
by,
maybe
Mom
like a
didn't
few
notice
hours or
unless,
something.
Yeah.
And then you're right, like I had long hair.
Cover them all up.
Ooh, actually, that's also false.
Okay, my bad. My bad.
No,
I'm
no,
just
no,
trying
no,
to-
no. Long enough to cover.
Okay.
But I guess my hair was much shorter because now I have like crazy long hair.
It's great.
That just
Looks
keeps
good.
growing and growing,
It's
growing.
great, yeah.
I don't even have the time to go to the hair salon. That's why it's so long.
It looks great.
Thank
Keep
you,
it up.
but
Yeah.
it might be down to my knees
Rapunzel
next time
style.
you see me.
Yeah. Rapunzel style.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I think I was hiding it for like at least like a couple of hours or something like that, and then yeah, eventually, I guess she found out.
So Mom's like, what is that in your ear?
Yeah, I
Okay.
guess. And then I mean that was only the beginning. I ended up actually at some point I had 14. Yeah.
Okay,
now it's
wow.
down to like 7 or so.
Oh, wow. So you had
But-
like the whole do-do-do-do-do?
Not.
not?
I mean, I
don't know how
think
that
I get
Okay.
yeah, like I definitely got more and more.
Okay.
But that was the very first one. So yeah, I mean, sorry, like I'm losing track of.
No,
your
it's
question,
good.
but-
So Mom sees it. Mom says,
Yeah.
hey, what's going on with your ear? And you're like,
Yeah.
well, I got these pierced. So
Yeah.
then she's like, what?
I think there was like a little bit of a buffer.
Okay.
Like I'm sure she said something and I said something. We probably had to like make up and
Of course, teenager and mom butting heads,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
But she's always been like pretty rational.
Okay.
Like she understands that like I already did it. Like
done.
this is what I wanted. I did
Yeah.
it. Even risking our relationship,
Sure,
for
of
like
course.
a half day, but
Yeah, of
still
course.
like, she understood that like it was gonna be like important, and
Okay.
I needed like a way out. Like I was a good student,
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Well,
like,
you're you're
yeah.
putting in the work already, right?
Right.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, I do remember the part where we were like at the department store, and it was the best one in town.
Nice.
So she, if
Beverly
we're gonna,
Hills.
if we're gonna
Yeah.
do it, like might as well just do it right.
Okay.
And yeah, like that's pretty much the end of the story there. But yeah, I do remember, like it was raining, it was damp,
Okay.
it was not the best day. But for us, it was like a very memorable one. And
Okay, sure.
over the last like 20 years or so, even longer, every time I bring my friend over or something,
Yeah.
like we're like joking about things, like how like,
Sure.
yeah, she was a good kid, but she always, because like now we're working in the blockchain space.
Yes.
And we always talk about, oh, did you know I'll be doing something like this? Like, did you know I had this like rebellious side? And she's like,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Mom's got your back.
Yeah.
So how can like this pair of earrings, how would that spark like sentiment? First of all, tell me a little bit about sentiment.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
go from there. Yeah.
Yeah, so I talked a little bit about that in the beginning,
Sure.
but sentiment has like many different parts. So there's a platform side that leverages blockchain and AI.
Uh-huh.
So that's a little more techy, but how we're approaching it, how we are the best, onboarding, like new retail user onboarding vessel, is because we tied it to consumer goods. We're starting with jewelry because this is like our edge, basically.
Yeah.
Like
so it's a piece of jewelry.
Yes.
Okay.
So I've gone through like a very dynamic career path, but I've always been a jewelry maker. So like on the side, I was always using jewelry, the
Nice.
jewelry, and as I told you, I ended up having like a lot more piercings.
I love it. Yeah.
So yeah, I was always like going to these like studios to make my own, designing it, sketching it, and I think that sort of like became my unique edge
Okay.
over the years. And then yeah, like we're again starting with jewelry,
Yeah.
and we're like basically talking about memories. And if you look at the sentiment-driven markets,
Yeah.
jewelry is always on the top of the list.
Okay.
So
which is great.
It
Yeah,
was like a perfect
beautiful.
marriage for us.
Perfect.
Like, this is something that I've been passionate about like all my life. I have a great story. Not just a story about my earrings, first earrings, but actually like one of the biggest inspirations for starting my tech jewelry brand, which was called Your Charms,
Okay.
was because I wanted to remember those, damp, wet weather and, those like emotions, those conversations that we had.
Gotcha.
Because I still have the earrings today. Right?
Okay.
So really wanted to have a way to like capture those and then
Okay.
tie that to sentimental goods.
Okay.
So yeah, it just, and outside of that, other
Yeah.
inspirations as well. And again, like I worked in the tech industry for a long time, and one thing that was in the core, I was always interested in using tech to like basically keep us more human. So when
Sure.
everyone else is talking about how
AI taking over the
yeah,
world.
taking
and,
over.
Terminator.
Exactly.
What is it? End of days or what? Terminator days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Everyone's saying that, and you're like, no. What about this?
exactly.
Okay.
So it can actually be used for the good reasons, actually help your day-to-day life. And a lot of people are working on this,
Okay.
but it's something that's very rare to see in the blockchain space so
Okay.
far. So yeah, I think that's where we found a good angle for pushing this in the retail market. And yeah, like it's
Okay.
been a wild journey.
So maybe you can kind of walk me through the journey, right? So I'm a dad.
Yeah.
I obviously have a wife and I have a little girl. So let's say I want to buy a bracelet
Mm-hmm.
for my daughter, and I want to sort of keep these memories,
Right.
and attach them to the bracelet. So like, what's me as a customer? Like, what's like my journey to getting to that point?
Right.
Yeah.
It's very simple. Actually, we hide everything. We make the tech invisible.
Okay.
And we actually tried very hard to make this happen.
Great.
So yeah, for example, you
Got
see
this
this.
bracelet.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Thank you. So let's say you are maybe at a store or you go to our online shop.
Yeah.
You buy this, and again, there's no tech involved. I mean, you don't see anything about this. That's tech.
Yeah.
But you get some, you'll be educated and, you get some instructions. You can actually tap on it with your phone. So as simple as just tapping it on your phone, there's a chip inside.
Oh, okay. So like the NFC chip
Yes.
thing in it?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Exactly. And then, yeah, you are directed to our platform where it's just very simple to use. There's, again, nothing about crypto, nothing
Okay.
about blockchain or AI. It will just ask you to upload your favorite
Okay.
memory with
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
Or just, yeah, like ask you to capture whatever it is. So
Perfect.
it can be a photo, video, voice, or anything, whatever you want to capture. And then the next step is you can describe it,
Okay.
the best way possible. So
Okay.
what we're asking you to describe is actually more something more personal. So
Okay.
your relationship with the person, or
Okay.
how you feel about her, your
Okay.
daughter, and what exactly you're feeling that moment.
Okay.
Instead of just like providing a caption that you would on social
Like
media.
a social media.
Right.
Okay.
So then, like as you add more memories on our platform, it becomes your memory bank, and then that's how we use AI, to analyze the links between, then help you actually recollect those memories better down
Okay.
the line. So that's our plan.
Gotcha.
But yeah, going back to the flow.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, just uploading or capturing, and then you seal it on our platform.
Sure.
So it's linked to the jewelry itself. So,
Okay.
when your daughter receives the gift, she can actually tap on it and then
Bam.
sees everything that you captured for her.
Okay.
The beautiful thing about this is that, it's permanent. So,
Yes.
to our retail users, what we are saying is that it's your forever memory.
Yep.
Unlike your, storing your photo on your phone or Google storage or,
Yeah.
Anywhere else that you cannot keep track of. So it actually has the community function as well, right?
Beautiful.
It's the memory vault, the secret memory vault that you create between you and your daughter.
Okay.
And then you can keep depositing. So maybe like on her birthday,
Okay.
you can shoot the message
put
over.
something in there.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then you can actually attach the assets as well, whether it's like real money or
Really?
crypto as well.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So I'll have my phone. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know when my light is on. I can have my phone, I give her the bracelet and I just tap
Mm-hmm.
and then I say, okay, this is what's happening. This is how I'm feeling. I love my daughter, blah, blah, blah. Let's say she's 13.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Mexican people have like a sweet 16 when they're 15.
Yeah.
Right. The quinceañera, right?
Yeah.
So let's say we're going to do a quinceañera event. So let's say that's a gift.
Mm-hmm.
So I can put in the video or I talk to the AI, describe what's going on.
Yep.
And then she keeps that forever. So when I'm long gone, she'll still have this bracelet and she'll still have this memory.
Exactly.
And then, so let's say we do the quinceañera and then the next year we do the sweet 16 and then we can stack that in there
Yep.
and add it in there.
Exactly.
So ideally, like it could be like a family heirloom.
That's exactly
That's-
it. And
Yeah.
you have no idea like how many people come up to me and ask me about their existing jewelry from their
Okay.
grandma, from their mom
Ooh,
and
that's
dad.
a good one, yeah.
And they're like in tears. I'm pitching on the
Sure.
stage, to
I love
these
it.
blockchain investors
Yeah.
who don't necessarily care about these
They're
things
like, I
way
want the
too
money.
much.
Yeah.
But what makes me think that I'm doing the right thing is, like I'm actually driving this Web3 mass adoption is
Okay.
when people literally coming up to me, also including investors, asking me these questions, like this is what I got. There's so many memories attached to it, and can you do something about it? I mean, I'm trying to find a way.
Is that a way? I mean, other than like
Yeah.
remelting it down and remaking something,
I
man,
mean,
that's
I
tough,
would
right?
I would be very terrified to do that because like it's
Yeah.
already so valuable,
Yeah,
like rich in
of
memories.
course.
So
Yeah.
I don't want to ruin anything, but
Like-
at least I can attach something,
Okay.
like that we create and then attach to the
Beautiful.
existing piece.
I think that's cool because, like for me, like a family heirloom, for example, I would love to have memories of like, let's say my great grandfather.
Yeah.
I have no idea who he is, right? But like all the way down the line, and then down to grandpa
Yeah.
and down to dad, and all the way down to me, down to my daughter. That'd be amazing
Yeah.
to have this whole like chain of memories
Of course.
on the blockchain or,
Yeah.
or wherever, where we could just kind of go up there and be like, oh, beautiful.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's kind of the goal, right?
it is on the jewelry front.
Like we can't go obviously back in time, but
Yeah.
from now on. Okay.
Absolutely.
So like, let's say my daughter's daughter would kind of know about my daughter's birthday party or something.
Exactly.
Beautiful. I love that.
And
Okay.
thank you. And
Yes.
there's one more thing I wanted to add there.
Sure.
Like, when the whole California fire that happened,
Sure. Yeah.
so many
That's huge.
people who have been, either like our supporters or like advisors, they sent me so many articles about how like people are devastated.
Of course.
Of course, because of what they lost, like, physically, like,
Yep.
their house and, like where they grew up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But one thing that everyone was talking about is actors with a lot of money.
Yeah.
What they care about the most is the memories, the photo albums, like the legacy that
Sure.
that was living
Of
in
course.
the house,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they were
yeah.
not prepared for this. So we all agree that these moments that we try to capture through like photos and all, it's so prone to damage. Like you don't
Yeah.
know, and you can't be prepared for that,
Sure.
really. So that's how we use blockchain. And again, yeah, just like makes me feel very proud
it's
that
amazing.
my team as well, like we're all like pushing this angle, even though it hasn't been an easy journey.
Yeah.
We've been doing this for 2 years now.
Okay.
And as we mature, as the space is being matured,
Yeah.
like we are getting more support,
Yeah.
more and more and more, because people started seeing the real value in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 2 years ago, like Dippin wasn't a thing, RWA wasn't really a thing, and we were just pushing our thing, just nonstop. And yeah, I think it's finally
Hola.
the time.
Sorry.
No
That
worries.
drives me nuts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think it's good. Like for example, me, I have like Facebook,
Uh-huh.
right? And every year or every month, I always have these video clips and these pictures of like my daughter when she was 1 or 2
Yeah.
or 5, now she's 13.
Right.
So it's kind of all stacked up,
Yeah.
which is great.
Yeah.
If I lose my account, that's gone. That's all gone.
Exactly.
So I'm so very like paranoid that I will lose that stuff because she's 13 now. And like a Google Drive is full of pictures of my daughter
Right.
at age 1, age 2, age 5, age 12. And now, yeah, so how can we take that and then incorporate it into like what you're doing?
So yeah, what we've been working on
Yeah.
is to actually, look at your social media profiles and then bring those media files over. So
Okay.
yeah, that has like 2 advantages. Maybe I can tell you more about that later because
Sure.
we haven't released anything
No,
yet.
I'm sorry. Okay, okay.
No worries, no worries.
Some behind the scenes stuff here.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah.
Okay,
I
okay,
mean,
okay.
it will come very
Awesome,
soon.
awesome. Okay. So that, yeah, for me, like as a dad, I'm thinking of my
Yeah.
daughter. We can plug all this stuff in there, and I
Yeah.
think it's beautiful. And so I think the idea is amazing.
Yeah, and I mean, sorry, I hope I'm not interrupting. I just get so passionate, and I
Please
think
go.
please,
That's why we're here.
yeah, maybe this can be a good idea for like an inspiration for many people who gift jewelry.
I love
like
it.
I'm sure like one of these birthdays, like one of her birthdays, like you will be giving her jewelry anyways. Like
Yeah, for sure.
like it's a very common gift for your loved ones because
Okay.
it holds so much sentimental value. So yeah, might as well, if you're gonna give it to her, might as well just attach the special moments.
Actually, quickly on that, I think it's really important
Yeah.
because I actually had an amazing gold chain from Mexico that was kind of like a family heirloom that was
Yeah.
kind of passed down to me. And I loved it. It was like my favorite thing. And I was wearing it on a trip back to Canada. This was, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago. And I don't know what happened, but there was some scummy neighbors or whatever. They saw me kind of, coming back to visit. And so, anyway, they broke into the house and took it, right? So it's gone. And then the police are like, wow,
Wow.
we can't really do anything, blah, blah, blah. So anyways, that's long gone. But if there were some kind of memories attached to that,
Right.
like I can't remember the chain, but I mean, the process of the family, like the grandpa and all this stuff, that would be awesome. So
Yeah.
I think it's a good track that
Right.
you're on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Oh God, it's okay. I don't.
It's
wear,
devastating.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
I'm
I just.
getting chills hearing
It
this.
is what it is, right? No
Yeah.
problem. It was a while ago.
Yeah.
But you're in Taipei. The weather's great.
Mm-hmm.
It's sunny. What brought you to Taipei
It's
for the first time?
long overdue.
Yeah, for sure.
I've met so many, well, not so many, but everyone that I met from Taiwan,
Okay.
just incredibly genuine. I don't know if it's like a common thing across the country.
Pretty nice. Yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty genuine.
I mean,
yeah.
maybe I'm just so lucky. I'm like always blessed with people, so like I
Go.
just have a lot of great people around me. But yeah, like it just had I don't know, like I just knew that like as soon as I come here, like I would just like fall in love with it. Like I always
Yeah.
knew it. It's like one of those countries. Same thing
Sure.
like Mexico.
Yeah, Mexico is-
represent. I wore
Mexico dress.
skirt from Mexico.
Ooh, I love it. Okay,
for
okay.
this
Beautiful.
for Eddie's restaurant.
Thank you so
Please
much.
come visit.
We'll take it.
Yeah, and then yeah. So, what were we talking about? Sorry.
Taiwan.
Taiwan.
What brought you here? You fell in love with it.
Yes.
People are genuine.
Yes.
Having a good trip so far.
Yeah. So I got into this program called AppWorks.
Love it. Tell me about
And
AppWorks.
AppWorks, I feel like I should bring them on here to talk to you more.
I actually don't know
about
many
them.
people. I don't know anyone from AppWorks.
Okay.
So yeah.
I'll be
definitely.
happy to do the intro. Amazing
Please.
people.
Okay.
Yeah, honestly, like I wasn't really sure like what to expect because I've been in the accelerator programs before, but just very different. I've only been in the ones that are in the blockchain space.
Sure.
Incredible support
Web3
and I'm
stuff.
right. Just genuinely very grateful.
Okay.
But this one, like I'm in the 30th cohort right now. So they've been doing this since 2009.
Wow. Okay. That's a lot.
So like I
Okay.
walk into the room and like this is like more than just an accelerator program. It's
Okay.
literally like it can change your life. Like that's how I
love
felt.
it.
Yeah. Like the quality of the mentors, some of them went IPO actually
Okay.
too.
Yeah.
So like they've been running their businesses for like a very long time.
Okay.
And and the important thing is free.
Okay.
They don't charge you. They don't take anything from you.
Okay.
So it's really their model is like founders help founders, and I was actually genuinely surprised by how they structure the programs.
Okay.
It's not really like that they're trying to help you fix like one or two problems that you're going through right now.
Yeah.
They focus on you, like you as a founder. How
Okay.
can we help you become a better founder? So then you can look at these problems that you will
Gotcha.
keep seeing over your journey, and then you can react better. So like I
Okay.
think they're incubating the people, not the projects, really.
That's smart. I
Yeah.
think the founder's important,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So you, as a founder, we'll transition to that. As a founder,
Yeah.
tell me how it's been. I mean, you said it's been 2 years,
Yeah.
right? It's not easy,
Mm-hmm.
for sure, to be, like, for example, I have, the Mexican restaurant. We started from a stand. We slowly, small restaurant, medium
Yeah.
restaurant, then this one. And that's a long process.
Yeah.
But during that, you have to be everything. And it's a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So tell me how that's been for you.
I mean, it's been a very humbling experience too.
Yeah.
Like when you were a good student in school.
Yeah, I wasn't. So tell me about that. Yeah.
I mean, it was a lot. And, I had my moments when I, like, for example, when I went over to the States when I was 15.
Yeah.
I thought I was smart because I was getting good grades. But
Yeah.
then, first whole, like, mental breakdown came when I realized I felt very stupid.
Oh man, wait, because you were school smart. And you went there, like
Well,
grade smart, and then you
yeah.
went there and something made you feel,
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
it was my first time kind of interacting with a new, like a different education system.
because it was all in Korea before, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
it's
then,
very different.
Right. And the system is structured differently as
Okay.
well. So like, I remember, I hope it's a different case right now, but back
Gotcha.
then, a lot of memorization in Korea. So like,
Okay.
in my mind, it's a skill to like be able to memorize a lot.
That sounds exactly like Taiwan 2025.
Yeah.
So anyways, keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought that was it. That's the way to be smart.
Memorize.
And I don't think I was dumb. I was always like creative. So
Yeah.
I had my own little skill set as well. But yeah, anyways,
course.
going over to the States, it's all about the debate culture. Right.
Okay.
And that's not common in Asia. Like
because no one questions in Asia.
Right.
They're like, they just memorize, kind of absorb,
Right.
regurgitate on the test.
Yeah.
Here's your mark. Okay.
Right. So you're like expected to express your opinions and do all that, and like you
Like
get challenged
individuality more.
exactly
Okay.
all the time, and I just didn't know what to say, how to say anything, and I think that was like the first moment where I was like, wow, like there's a lot more to this.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, but like I went through enough of that because I also moved to another continent afterwards. So like just
Okay.
yeah,
Just
a lot of
moving
those.
around. Nice.
Right. But yeah, like coming back to my founder's journey, like I think those experiences were like super helpful. Like it's actually pretty similar, right? Like you're pushing one angle,
Yeah.
and then you're asked to like sort of take a step back and then look at you from like an objective point of view.
Yeah.
And then oftentimes you're like, oh my gosh, like I thought I knew everything.
Yeah. It's tough. Yeah.
Yeah. But every day I'm like, oh shit, like I don't know anything.
I'm still like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, after
Yeah.
like almost 20 years in this business. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it. Yeah.
And then one thing that has been something that I've been thinking about recently is that, like you go through these like mini failures every day.
Oh yeah.
And honestly, like I feel like I haven't been able to tend to anything else other than sentiment.
Okay. Sure.
There are people who stay in your life, like despite of like the lack of presence.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I, thankfully, like I now live very close to my family.
Beautiful.
And I haven't had this really in the past like 17, 18 years. But
Okay.
now like I feel very lucky and grateful that I can just bike over to them when I want to see them.
Nice. Get some
But-
mama's home cooking.
Exactly.
Right?
Whenever you're like,
I
oh my
know
God,
that.
like I cannot do this.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, one thing that I've been thinking about is that like there are people who stay in your life just because they love you. Like
Sure.
just because, they love you as like, who you are rather than like what you're doing or like how much you have. And
Yeah.
that realization has been like hitting me very like differently.
Yeah. Those are the real ones for sure.
Yeah, 'cause, like,
yeah.
I feel like I'm failing, like seriously. Like I'm not even able to like celebrate their birthdays properly or like see my friends regularly or even my team, you know? Like I am not perfect. So I do my best, but you know, I make mistakes.
Okay.
But you know, you kind of go through this like, you know, debate or you know, conversations and at the end of the day, they're like staying with you.
Yeah.
And that's like what I try to think about when I'm like going to sleep and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, like I can fail. I am not delivering like my duties and all that. I can't really attend to them. But
Okay.
at the end of the day, like there are people just, you know, like rooting for you. And
There's always going to be people on your team, but then it also will filter out
yeah.
the not real ones, right? Like kind of
Right.
the fake ones that are kind of like, hey, this, you know, I
Yeah.
want to get a free jewelry or something. You know, let me try to, you know, like I don't know. I'm just
Yeah.
kind of making it up.
Yeah, exactly,
Right?
yeah.
I'm sure there's somebody who wants
Right.
free jewelry.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's always going to be that, and it's cool because like I have, for example, when I go back to visit Canada, I'll see some of my friends
Yeah.
that I haven't seen since probably high school.
Yeah.
And then you go and it may be awkward for like 2 minutes, and then it's just like, hey, you remember when this happened? Yeah, so I think it's cool. You know, you gotta
Yeah.
recognize the real ones for sure.
Right.
Yeah, and so quickly talk about like the whole crypto space. Like you're talking about, it can be good. There's, you know, a little scammy, this and that. So people kind of don't know. Like for example, I went to Hong Kong, and you know, I had to learn a bunch of terms because I
Yeah.
didn't know like KOL, Web2,
yeah.
Web3. I didn't know any of that stuff. So like a normal guy.
Yeah.
Right. And so you go and you try to meet people, and like how, for me, I noticed that it's like 99% dudes in these places, right? And so for you, as like a Web3 woman, let's
Yeah.
say, right? How is that? I mean, I'm sure there's weird stuff, but how is that for you to be like, you're a woman founder
Yeah.
in crypto, which is, I'm sure it's super rare. I haven't seen
Yeah.
anyone else. So
Yeah.
how is that play into this at all?
Yeah,
Tell me
absolutely.
about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, thanks for the question, really. And
Yeah.
the positive side of all this
Sure,
is
of
that,
course. Yeah,
is
yeah.
that it's gotten a lot better. So whatever you saw
Okay.
compared to 5 years ago.
Really? 5 years ago, there was no. Okay.
Yeah, because I literally went on Discord for the first time.
Okay.
And I remember when I said, hey guys, what's up? The first response after 10 seconds is like,
Yeah.
a girl? It was that bad.
Okay. Okay.
And now, you know, I see a lot of like female founders, like, you know, just
That's
like,
awesome.
and we need them, you know, because
For sure.
I mean, as much as I care about like gender equality, like, you know, I don't see people differently based on their genders and stuff.
Yeah, of
Like, you
course.
just need more people with diverse backgrounds and, you know, just different perspectives. And, you know, that's, I think, what we're seeing in the market right
Yeah.
now. We're going through like a change at the moment.
Okay.
And it's been super supportive in the past few months. But anyways, how has it been for me as a female founder?
Yeah, because like you see,
Yeah.
you go in, like for example, I'll just paint a picture for people that don't really know. Like, so I go there, it's mostly dudes, right? And then you go up, you know, you watch these panels. It's pretty much mostly dudes.
Yes.
And it's like founders and CEOs and the head of marketing. It's mostly dudes.
Yeah.
Right. And I'll talk about marketing after probably, but so then I see you.
Yeah.
This like young, like beautiful girl, big smile, and it's like you stick out like a sore thumb because you know you look incredible,
Thank you.
right? Yeah. So that must be like it's not a common thing. So tell me about like how's that?
I actually try to hide. Like, I've never done marketing.
Okay.
That we can talk about, but yeah, like
Yeah.
I always try to like actually operate behind the scenes for that because of that reason. Exactly.
So you
I
want
didn't
to hide
want.
that you're
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Multiple reasons, but.
okay. Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
actually, I didn't want people to think that like I'm like using my looks or you know. I actually wanted to see them the product before
Okay.
anything, and it actually has a value. You know, it actually has a meaning and it has a potential to change the whole industry.
Okay.
I happen to be a woman, and I'm working on something that just happens to be more like sentimental.
Sure.
I just happen to have this passion for jewelry.
Yeah.
But, you know, like the common impression or like, you know, common comment
Yeah.
that I get always is like, okay, so you're like 25-year-old, like, are you a BD? Are you like making jewelry to sell at like a flea market? Like,
Okay.
are you an influencer? Are you a KOL? Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
still hear those all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I try to just correct people like one by one, I guess, in the
Tough.
beginning.
Yeah.
But I realized that if they're gonna see how like that's gonna how they want to see me,
Okay.
I can't actually change everyone's
No,
perspective, right?
No, there's
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with being a founder,
Right.
woman, and looking great. Like that should be a bonus, not not a bonus, right?
Yeah. So
That should be not a con. It should be a pro, right?
right.
Yeah.
So I have like a few ways of going about this now,
Okay.
but I literally meet them, and for the I guess I was also growing up as a woman.
Sure.
Like women don't really talk about these things. They don't actually. When we first meet,
Yeah.
we don't actually like say that. Oh yeah, I'm Yuri. I'm the founder.
That's what guys do.
Right.
Yeah.
So like I got this feedback from like some people in the past few years, and I was actually surprised because I am proud of what I built.
Yeah.
I love who I am, and I'm
Sure.
confident about
Yeah.
what impact that we're creating. But I wasn't doing that, so I was like,
Okay.
oh wow, like I was creating the standard for myself.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. Also, age is a big thing. Looking young was always a great thing.
I understand.
Yeah, but as a founder, like it equals no,
No
experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now I'm like, hi, I'm Yuri. I'm the founder at Sentiment,
Own that.
and I'm in my mid 30s.
Yeah.
And then this
Give that
earrings.
little thing in there. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm doing well for my age.
Yeah.
Like that's, and then people are like, oh wow, like okay, so like you worked at this place, that place, that place, and then we start talking, right? If we don't even have to talk about this at all, like that's even better.
Yeah,
If we
okay.
can talk about product itself.
Sure, of course.
But
yeah,
no. I mean like when
Yeah.
I'm meeting people.
Yeah.
Even better, but unfortunately, like that's still not the case for
Understand.
everybody. So
Yeah.
like a lot of different ways to go about it. But
Yeah.
what I can do right now is to actually make this product a killer product.
Love it. Yeah.
Everyone will recognize
Yes.
what we are doing, and then I just again happen
That's
to be a
beautiful.
woman, happen
Yes.
to
I think it shouldn't be like
Yeah.
a con, right?
Yeah.
I like for example, I know with the age. So I've been doing quick store. I've been doing the restaurant for I don't know, almost 17, 18 years or
Wow.
something, right? And so when we started,
yeah.
a lot of the times when we'd hire people, they would be older than us,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then it's probably similar to Korea, where Taiwan, it's Asian culture, right? So they would come, and I would be like, okay, I'd hire a chef. I'd be like, okay, and do this like this, blah blah blah. This is kind of the family recipe, and they'd be like, 小朋友你不知道, which is like, you're a kid, you don't know.
Oh.
And they just like, they're doing their own thing. And I'm
Yeah.
like, no, the boss here. I'm supposed to, this is how the food's supposed to come, right? For example, I remember one instance where, so we make, like fajita, we have like the skillet and, the iron sort of, we sear up the vegetables and stuff like that, right? And I caught one of my older chefs just taking all the vegetables, putting them in a basket and just deep frying them,
Oh.
right? Then he'd pull them out and I'm like, well, how come there's no sear on these? And then he's like, oh, this is why. And he showed me, I'm like, dude, you totally did it wrong. And he's just like, oh, kid, you don't know, right? So I can see that when you're a kid, I would always hear,
Yeah.
I don't hear it now, but when I was like late 20s, we
Right.
started this, right? So they'd be like, oh, you're a kid, you don't know. Oh, Taiwan's like this, you don't know.
Mm.
Oh, Asia's like this, you don't know. You're a kid. You're a foreigner, you're a kid, you don't know. So I can see how youth is definitely like that. And for example, when we were in Hong Kong, it's funny because me and Dan were talking about this the other day. We were at a side event, right? And a lady who was with us, we were just chatting, and this young guy comes in, I would say probably 24,
Yeah.
20 from Spain, this 23, 24. He comes in, we speak a bit of Spanish, and I'm like, oh, what do you do? He's like, oh, entrepreneur. I'm like, oh, cool. Yeah, me too. And then this lady, she's like, hey, we're chatting, and she's like, oh, which area are you staying? And then they said the area. I don't know because I'm not in Hong Kong. I don't know. And she's like, oh, are you staying at the Hyatt, right? Which is like
Yeah.
the Hilton, the Hyatt, like
Right.
the big hotels. And he's like, no, I'm an entrepreneur who's like 20,
Yeah.
23. I'm staying at like, he didn't say, but
Yeah.
you could tell by his face. He's probably in like a hostel somewhere, because, unless he's a rich kid, but
Right.
unlikely, right? So,
Right.
yeah, so definitely I could see that with the youth, people would be like, "Hey, what are you doing here, kid? You
Right.
don't know." Yeah.
Right.
Yes. Good. So tell me more about sentiment. Tell me where the name comes from. Tell me where the name comes from.
It's actually really funny because
Tell me about
yeah. So I should probably send this to the people who helped me
I'll
name
send it
sentiment.
to him. Yeah. Just talk.
Yeah, so I was in the Avalanche Accelerator program,
Nice.
and I actually started my company as Your Charms. I might have told you this before.
Yeah. Tell me again.
Yeah, so Your Charms, it was like a fun like spin-off or like a pun that came from my name. Like if you
Your
look at
Charms.
my handles for socials, it's always like Your something because it's like Yuri.
Yuri.
So like my Twitter, my Instagram, it's like you're in control. Like
You're-
it's
oh, I
like
saw
you're
that.
this, right? And then it started with Your Charms because charms were going to be very important,
Okay.
you know, to my jewelry brand.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to design charms that are capturing and storing different types of memories,
I love
and it's
it.
your stories, right? Not just
Yes.
memories.
Yeah.
So, like, for example, today, like, I'm doing this, but tomorrow I might be pitching on the stage.
Love
or,
it.
you know, there's like a different sides of me and,
So
you know,
much.
stories that are associated with this. So I wanted to actually have the charms and then
Yeah.
just like be ready, you know, just like be me. And that's, you know, those are the moments that define me.
Yeah.
So it was Your Charms. And then the problem was, you know, we're talking about building like a proper business that will last forever. And Your Charms to a lot of people, they didn't know how to read it for you know.
Okay. The name.
It made sense, you know. All of my friends loved it, but are they my forever customers? I mean, yes
It's
and no.
hard. It's hard.
Yeah,
when
it
it's your
was
friend.
hard.
Yeah. I'm
Yes, it
gonna
was
go
a-
eat at your restaurant
yeah.
every day.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I just like started playing with like, you know, different terms, and you know, it was like sentiments and, you know, like emotions and all those. You know, we had like, I don't even remember how many we had.
Sure.
We had a list, and then I almost called it, I think, Sentid or something.
Okay.
Because like, you know how like Facebook and all the like WhatsApp and, you know, all the popular businesses,
Yeah.
that became its own verb. So like I'll Facebook
True.
you.
Yeah. I'll Facebook
You know?
you. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll like Telegram something. And you know,
Yeah.
these things, like I wanted to create that effect, right?
You want to have that vocabulary.
Yeah. So
unique.
like, yeah, so like, you know,
Tesla.
I just like sentimented you or like, you know, something like that. So
Like
I wanted,
Venmo, right? Yeah.
I wanted to have something very simple.
Yeah.
So I was just kind of like looking at it, and then yeah, a friend of mine from that cohort, a French friend named Leo, if you're watching.
Okay,
Thanks.
yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully you don't come back and take it away from me
No,
when I
you're
become
good.
successful, but.
Yeah.
I'll always give the credits to Leo. But yeah, he was like, you should call these sentiment. You're minting sentiments. So
Okay. Oh,
yeah,
I like that. Okay.
yeah. I
okay.
mean, like people always like misspell it, especially people
Sure.
outside of the blockchain industry. You know, they think that we're just literally sentiment,
Okay.
but it's fine. You know,
Yeah.
like I'm explaining what mint means.
Minting something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, you know, putting something on blockchain forever. You're minting
Beautiful.
it. Yeah.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to take a 1-second break here. We're going to have a quick sponsored video from me and my hot sauce.
Oh. Okay.
All right, we are back. Yes.
All right.
Awesome. So that's cool. Taipei, South Korea, similarities maybe. Where in South Korea? I don't know. I'm saying Seoul. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm in Seoul.
Okay, good. Okay, good.
Seoul
good.
is massive. It's very big.
I
And
went to
then-
visit once. It's super nice.
You haven't
Food is
been?
good. I no, I went once, a
Oh.
long time ago.
Okay.
So we're definitely due again.
I mean-
actually, in Taiwan, probably all of Asia, Korean culture is super popular.
I heard.
You know, like Squid Game stuff. This what do they call soap operas, right?
Yeah. The
K-pop,
K-dramas.
K-drama. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
All that stuff is super popular.
Yeah.
And it's funny because for me, my family's Mexican, so I grew up with like novelas. My mom always watching, which is almost the same thing. It's pretty
Yeah.
much the same thing, but
Yeah.
the Korean version of it. And we actually have like Netflix at home here. It's the only thing we subscribe to because, I mean, it has the movies, but in Taiwan, Netflix is just loaded with K-dramas, and my wife likes K-drama stuff.
see.
So yeah, Korean culture is massive in Taiwan. It's crazy.
I've noticed every
Yeah.
Uber I get in, they're blasting K-pop.
Yeah.
I'm like shazamming in the car. I'm like, oh, what's this? I hear Korean.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How like important does that kind of tie into the sentiment thing? I know that's you at your core, Korean, obviously, right?
Yeah.
But is there a kind of the influence on that? Because
Ooh, interesting.
jewelry is in Taiwan. I mean, I don't know Korean culture, but in Taiwan, the jewelry thing, when someone's born, they get jewelry.
Mm-hmm.
So is there something like that in Korea? Or?
Interesting question. I might have to think about this a little more.
Okay. No, I'm just
but-
popped into my head.
No,
It's
I mean,
not-
great question.
Yeah.
That gives me the opportunity to think about it.
Sure, not a problem. Yeah.
I mean, still
'Cause that's
jewelry.
a good market for you.
Yeah. I mean, jewelry is just anywhere.
Okay.
You know, I can already think of like some countries that are more like known for jewelry. For example, like Hong Kong is one, like
Okay.
Dubai is one, India.
Okay.
But you know, I'm like always talking to like GPT about like the history of jewelry as well.
Okay, I
It
love
goes back
GPT.
like 40,000 years. Like this was like one of the first forms to capture the
Okay.
memories and
That's beautiful.
sentiments. You know.
Beautiful.
Because like if you look at like the king's like tomb and
They
stuff,
got all
like
the
they
gold
always
stuff.
yeah, and they're like
loaded up.
engraving and all that. So it's been everywhere.
So
Me,
sentiment will be maybe the next evolution of that.
I hope
able
so.
to actually keep the actual memory.
I hope so. And imagine you had this, like, let alone like, I wish I had the tech, you know, when I got
Sure.
this from my mom, so I could like
course.
see it. But imagine you had that
Yeah.
from those like 40,000 years ago. Imagine you can actually see like who owned this, where it's
Like
traveled,
Cleopatra's
and
like wearing these
Exactly.
earrings and stuff. Yeah.
like
yeah.
rocking it, you know,
Yeah.
like that would have been crazy.
It will be in the future, ideally,
Yeah.
right? With the sentiment.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
Yeah, and like I have supporters who
Yeah.
ask me to just like sell them like little pieces so they can start the journey, and then they just volunteer to be beta testers.
I love that.
So instead of just like giving me the money, like they actually want to like use it and then just start recording right now.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, like going back to your question about me being Korean. Yeah, I think it's more about the market that we're targeting
Yeah.
more than anything. Like Koreans love like entertainment.
Okay.
So
It's great. Yeah.
yeah, it's a great market, not in the sense that like, you know, we'll be making like just like the revenue from it.
Sure.
But like if you look at how or like why people are spending money, they want to like get close to their artists, you know, they want to support their artists, they want to go to these like concerts and festivals and spend money because they want to capture
Yeah.
something, like take away like a memory from it.
Yep.
So like how I view Korean fandom and, you know, Korean fans for their
Like,
artists.
Korea is usually very, very pro-Korea,
Yeah.
right? Like use this Samsung because it's Korean,
Mm.
right? From what I hear, I think, right?
Yes and no, because like
Okay.
Apple is very popular.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
people love Apple. Samsung has more sales outside of Korea.
Interesting. I didn't know
I mean,
that.
I think they
Okay.
like they're doing very well. Like that's a great strategy, to be
Okay,
honest.
okay.
But yeah, I mean, there are things, to your point, there are things that people care about. You know, like us being like Korean and whatnot.
Sure. Cool.
Yeah, I have like so much to talk about.
I know
It's
that's cool.
actually-
I want to make sure
but-
that
Yeah.
we can whatever you keep going.
Yeah, yeah.
Or I want to make sure we
Right.
get all the topics that you wanted to say. 'Cause
Yeah.
we're gonna make some cool clips for you and stuff.
Okay.
So yeah.
Thank you.
So do you have something that you want to make sure that I'm probably missed that you want to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, we. Again, sorry, I'm like when I'm thinking,
No,
I
it's
tend to
good.
pause. So it's
It's
probably
okay.
not good for the
No, it's okay.
live
That's okay.
sessions.
That's okay. That's fine.
I want to make sure, because like English is not my first language, so
Your English is amazing.
thank
so,
you.
Yeah.
But I do like to make sure. I want to make sure that, you know, I'm communicating
Yeah.
the best way possible. So that's why I'm like always like pausing and thinking and then going back.
Don't worry about it. We're just chatting. It's all
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
But yeah, one thing that I want to talk about is like when we are running Sentiment, it's actually running like 3 or 4 different businesses. That's
Okay.
why I've been going crazy. Because like, I'm a solo founder too. So it's like, running the Web2 business, Web3 business, and then, running a jewelry company alone is not easy.
No, yeah,
So this, and then the whole Web3, like the platform where we capture the memories, how we use the AI, we're talking to like AI scientists, AI like professors.
Okay.
All these things are happening. So it's actually like a lot of things going on.
Okay.
And for each market, we have to have like a different marketing strategy and then different people driving it.
Gotcha.
But like the more I build Sentiment, like one thing that's like getting more and more clear is that it doesn't matter if you're Eddie from Mexico or Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like it doesn't matter who you are, men or women, like, different industries, if you're a crypto bro or if you're like just like a regular female buying something from TikTok, it doesn't matter. Like at the core, we are just, just like the byproduct of everything that we experience. And
Okay.
it's like the memories, like everybody has those moments that they want to capture and, preserve forever.
Sure, of course.
So I think we've really found a unique angle for Sentiment and the way we integrate it with like jewelry first, and we're going to market with it to
Yeah.
really establish our position and
Okay.
let people know how this can create positive impact. So yeah, just want to say that like when you're looking at Sentiment or when you see me or, just like other people talking about us, it's not just like a, brand or a product that you see just like as a jewelry.
Yeah.
It's like much more than that, right? And you shouldn't be ashamed of like, just like being in like one category or anything. Just really like own your stories and like, that's like we are creating a vessel for you so you can like capture the moments that define you, and then providing the vessel like a tool that you can like embed them in here
You good?
and walk around with pride, and just be yourself. Like that's what we want to see, the
Okay.
change that we're trying to create in the industry. Anyways,
I love it. Thank you for that. Last question. How can people find you? Where can they find Sentiment?
Okay, so Twitter, I just posted my coming out video. Like
Okay.
again, I've been building behind the camera, but everyone's been wondering like why do we not see who's building this?
Okay.
So yeah, like I did the coming out video. It talks about why. So that's on Twitter, x.com sentiment_life.
Gotcha.
Same thing for Instagram, sentiment_life. Me personally, it's again going back to the pun.
Yeah.
You're in control. So YURI and control. That is my handle, and we'll be releasing a lot more content. I mean, this is also one of them. Thanks to you
For
guys.
sure. No, my pleasure.
Yeah, but a lot
Okay.
more coming soon.
Perfect. So actually, in the description below this video, I have your IG and sentiment.life all there. So if you want to go check out Sentiment, get whitelisted, get some gear, right? Get yourself some memories, some gear, some jewelry. Go to sentiment.life. Description below. You can go find it there. And don't forget to follow Yuri.
You're in control.
Yeah, you're in control. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching the podcast. I'm going to get Yuri fed here, and we'll see you guys next time.
Thank you so much. Taipei's
Bye.
amazing. Eddie's restaurant's amazing.
Yeah.
Everybody come to Taipei.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you everybody for